Hello, hello! Welcome to the Monday Night Modern stream here at Paradise Games. Right now we have Brendan versus Steven. Brendan is on blue-white control. Steven is playing Jund. I'm Sabian. I'm here with David today.
Yeah, I'm David. New to the stream. Hello, hello.
We got both players have lands in their hand.
We got a quick start with these two here. Let's see, Renin 6.
Renin 6 on curve. Definitely a strong play here from Steven.
With Baronmore in the graveyard, seems pretty solid. Against the blue-white control player, this might be pretty decent.
Just grabbing his land back. Steven definitely playing powerful magic here. The Brendan just fetching for a snow-covered island. There are definitely some powerful snow cards here in the modern format, so I'm curious what that correlates to, not knowing.
What used to be the best card in Magic, Island, now Forests. So
I mean, they're both arguably both significantly better than Plains and Mountain, notably.
Yeah, yeah, that is. Yeah.
Swamp coming in at a close third for colors. Oh, just slams the Narset here. Very, very powerful Planeswalker. Joke's on you, Axon. I don't know anything about the matchup, so.
Yeah, blue-white control against Jund might be probably a worse matchup for Jund, I would say. Just because they have a bunch of removal that's probably blanked a little bit, but then again, they got some
bolting the Narset here.
Discard to kind of work around counter magic, which is pretty solid for Jund.
Yeah. Blue-white control notably is just a deck that will always be at least medium in almost every format. Right now in Modern is definitely far from the best deck in the format. Jund tends to be powerful, and Steven's curving out very well. So I'm guessing it's probably going to be a rough matchup here for Brendan.
Yeah, looking so with all the 2-for-1s all the time. However, not a 2-for-1 there.
Steven finds Abrupt Decay.
Which again, that's part of the roughness of being the Jund player, is you got a bunch of removal that isn't usually active.
Brendan here just paths whatever card that was that Steven was playing. Don't know what that is. Do you know what the card that is, David?
Blood-Buried Elf.
All right,
yeah, it's yep.
Oh, a Cascade. That's spicy.
That was the Abrupt Decay that was not able to get cast.
Oh, I thought it just went to his hand.
No, it goes to the bottom of the library because he chooses not to cast it, and then that's how the Cascade works.
Yeah, did not know the card said
I had no
idea what the card was. So
yeah,
just finds Abrupt Decay. That's sweet. Why am I not playing that in one of my commander decks?
Right.
Well, this is awkward not knowing.
And this is thing. This is the strengths of Jund. You have a bunch of counter.
Is that just Stasis?
No, Inquisition of Kozilek. So he gets to take a card with Converted Mana cost 3 or less, which is his entire hand.
Jesus Christ. Brendan here just with a full grip of interaction. 2 pass, Force of Negation, and
looks like he chooses the Archmage's Charm.
Yeah, Archmage's Charm.
It's a pretty solid choice, given that it's going to be able to draw him cards here, which he kind of needs to get out of this.
Yeah, this is definitely looking like a really hard stop for Brendan. He has answers to the next couple of creatures that Steven plays, but stuck on 3 lands, Steven is just powering through this game.
Yeah, definitely.
There's another Inquisition of Kozilek, right?
Steven both being efficient by tapping out just about every turn, and also just just playing really good cards. Let's see.
Fortunately for Steven, though, regardless that Brendan's in a tough spot here, Steven does have quite a few lands in his hand. Able to cycle the Baronmore here. finds a bolt.
What's his Renin 6 ult at again?
I have no idea.
Well, it's got to be getting up there, and his ult's got to be really devastating for Brendan, being his ult gives all of your spells retrace. So having all those lands in hand, not really a bad thing. Looks like he ults at 7 is what the confirmation is, and Renin 6 is at 6. So give Stephen Boston one more turn. I'm sure he's going to snap off the ult, even though he loses his Renin 6. Just because he's going to have all
Honestly,
the Inquisitions.
I don't even think he, like... I don't know. I feel like if I was Steven here, I'd just wait and...
I don't think you need to. I think you just
off.
win the game once he ults it. He gets Inquisition with Retrace. He just mind rots him.
Yeah, but... You know, Brendan's not doing anything particularly powerful anyways. I think it's safer just to keep the Renin 6 on board.
That definitely could be the call. We'll see what Stephen Boston does this turn. Oh, looks like he snaps off the ult.
Oh, or not.
Oh,
getting
no.
a bigger dice.
No. I think it's at 7 this turn, so I think that's the... we got Liliana. Liliana is another really tough card for the blue-white deck.
This game, frankly, just looking about over. Brendan pops off the Force of Negation. And Path. Or is he dumping a Path, or did he Path?
No, he pathed the Tarmogoyf, so...
Oh, I didn't realize he had to go... Yeah, so he was...
So, Brendan currently...
Brendan, no cards in hand. Steven with practically a full grip, yeah. This game is looking to be pretty much over. Oh, Brendan is finding the Mystical Sanctuary, though. He's going to be able to grab probably the Archmage Charm back, I would guess. Yeah, Ren is at 8 now. Steven almost certainly looking to ult it next turn.
Yeah, Brendan's going to need a really fortunate top couple of cards of his deck to get out of this. Steven pretty much up ahead on every axis he possibly can.
Yeah, honestly, surprised Brendan has not picked up his cards yet.
Yeah,
this game is looking just about actually impossible for Brendan to come back. I mean, he's still at a high life total, but there's pretty much no way that he's going to be able to come back from the Renin 6 emblem. Steven is just going to be able to keep his hand absolutely empty while he does whatever the hell he wants at this point.
Yeah, you pretty much got to imagine...
opting. Is he...
What was that? Oh.
In response to the Inquisition,
both
lands.
Oh, yeah.
I think pretty much the only thing Brendan can do here would be try to find some cards with that Archmage's Charm. Puts it back on top of his library.
Was that Archmage's Charm or
yeah.
Opt?
It was Opt. He put the Archmage's Charm back on top. Steven just slams another Goyf here. It's going to be a big boy.
Let's see. Brendan draws the Archmage's Charm, casts it for a divination. Let's see. Looks like he's got a Spell Snare in another land he picked up. Not the greatest of hits. Spell Snare easily gets Inquisitioned out of his hand, and the lands aren't doing much.
Yeah, this game is... I don't know. Brendan's definitely got more patience than I do, because I would have conceded quite a while ago.
Yeah. Hit another Abrupt Decay that's not doing nothing.
Steven able to start putting on the beats now, though.
Steven's stacking his deck, apparently, with different sleeves. Hopefully we can get that fixed. Looks like we can. Definitely not intentional. Definitely awkward, though, at the moment. Easy fix, though. Steven had the extra sleeves, of course. As everyone should make sure to do, especially at professional.
Oh yeah, that is potentially a game loss in professional play. Fortunately, here this is just a casual event. Steven also being the highest level judge at the store probably only gave himself a warning at best. So Brendan's hope of winning this game is non-existent, frankly. But I mean, I understand that the judge is not technically Steven for this event, but he is the highest level judge in this store right now. So.
Steven playing another Ren in 6. Just keeping it at a higher loyalty. Might as well. Has so many cards in hand, it does not even matter.
Man. So looking like Chun potentially has a rough time
Steven
ending
now
the game.
has Colligan's Command, which is effectively going to lock his opponent out of this game. Has the land every turn because of Ren in 6. Gets to do it at the beginning of his upkeep or draw step. So there's really no coming back. Oh, looks like he was tapped out, so he couldn't have done it this turn. But regardless,
Can you think of any foreseeable way for Brendan to come back in this game?
Sphinx's Revelation, if he's got it in the deck, maybe. Play that for. He would only do it for 5, which even then, I'm sure Steven can. Oh, yeah. I guess Bolt in the Yard with Retrace is also probably pretty game over.
Doesn't he have Bolt in the grave? Oh, he has it in hand. You just kill his opponent, right? I don't know why.
I would
Steven
think so. Depending on how many lands are in his hand, I guess. But okay,
oh yeah,
looks
that's game 1.
Yeah.
All right, looking at
Brendan.
Looking at sideboards here, what do you think Brendan can bring in this matchup?
Best cards for Brendan, I could only assume. Let's see. Possibly Monastery Mentors, given that Steven's going to side out a bunch of removal. However, Steven still will have a bunch of versatile removal spells. So maybe not, just because he'll still have enough removal in there. Let's see. Timely Reinforcement is probably not. Let's see. It's not looking like.
Dreamrender is the old Ashiok, right?
I do believe so. Yeah. So maybe Dreamrender. Oh, hold on. Wait, no, that's black though, right?
Dreamrender's
No, that's got to be the War of the Spark Ashiok, right? Because that one's double blue and that fits in blue white, and that has text for a couple of things.
Maybe brings an Ashiok here.
Definitely Celestial Purge for sure. Being able to answer Liliana's is very, very necessary while they're on the board. Spreading Seas
honestly just kind of seems like
could be
a rough matchup for Brendan here.
Yeah, let's see. It doesn't look like he has much to board in, honestly. But let's see what Steven has. Huntmaster of the Fells can be a 2-for-1 a lot of the times. It's another creature. Could definitely potentially do that. Liliana, her plus doesn't do much, but her -2 is really good.
I could see Steven just bringing in Liliana regardless, because it doesn't seem like Brendan is packing a whole lot of Planeswalker removal, and Liliana ulting is basically just game.
That's also true. Let's see. Shock Dreamrender as well. Let's see. I don't think Blue-White has enough search or
Fulminator Mage
graveyard.
Could also potentially be a side-in from Steven just to try and kill his opponent. I could also see Steven really not siding a whole lot and just playing the slow game, but I don't...
Yeah, I think most of the cards in Steven's he doesn't really need. Collective Brutality, if he has worse cards, maybe, but it's only a Duress for 2 mana, really, so probably not good enough there. I would say probably just the Huntmaster, Liliana, and maybe potentially the Fulminator mages. Kind of screws with your opponent when they're
Yeah.
trying to hold up counter magic, and you can destroy their lands. It looks like Steven is doing
He's taking
bunch
a
of removal
bold-
for Fulminators, Huntmaster, and Lily, just like
Yeah,
we thought.
fantastic. See,
Yeah.
I'm good at this game. I know what's up. Don't even play Modern. All right.
Yeah.
All right, can we... Axon, if you could get Brendan to possibly show his side as well, that'd be awesome. What does Celestial Purge do?
Celestial Purge is a 2-mana instant, white in a generic. You get to exile target black or red permanent that's on the battlefield.
Gotcha. And what about is Beckoning Seas? under
No, so that's Spreading Seas. So that's which could honestly be potential. Black Jund has a lot of pretty much their mana base is pretty important. So Spreading Seas, taking his opponent off of certain colors might kind of screw with him, and it draws you a card, so it replaces itself.
Does it get rid of lands or something? Or?
Kind of, in a way. So you enchant a land, and it makes it an island.
Oh,
so
sick.
John doesn't have much to do with blue mana, and a bunch of his stuff is very mana intensive. If he has some dead cards in his deck, I would definitely recommend putting those in.
That just seems awful against Steven, though, because
That's true.
Steven has
You
so
really
many
want to
ways
be
to find lands, especially with his Ren and 6. Like,
yeah, you really want to be doing something that either stops Steven from what he's doing, or
I could almost potentially even see Brendan siding in the Supreme Verdict here, on the assumption that Steven's going to be siding in more dudes.
Oh, definitely. It's also just a good catch-all later in the game. It's going to be one of those cards that's the only way to get you back in.
Supreme Verdict probably just the best board clear in all of Magic, frankly.
Oh, definitely.
Uh,
Aside from, other
Toxic
cards,
Deluge is
maybe.
pretty nuts.
I was going to
but
say
yeah.
Toxic Deluge is a good 3-mana one if you're going to do that.
But
Yeah, definitely. Let's see. Dispel? I don't know if Dispel might be good enough as well. Being
does it... Dispel only stops instants, though, right?
It does, but there is quite a bit of instance in
Honestly, I'm somewhat surprised that Dispel in his sideboard isn't like a negate or something, being how Revelant
Dovin's
Planeswalkers
Veto,
have been.
maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or Dovin's Veto is fantastic here.
Yeah. Dovin's Veto would be a pretty good one. Let's see. Alright, looks like they've done
There's-
sideboarding. They're getting to the point where drawing the 7s. Looks like Steven already has his 7. Not sure if he's made his mulligan decisions yet. Probably waiting for Brendan.
Almost certainly keeping that hand. He has Ren and 6, he has lands.
Yeah.
Almost absolutely a snap keep. Yeah.
Yep. Looks like Steven has kept.
Brendan is mulling a 6. Ooh, this is already, potentially looking like somewhat of a rough game for Brendan. Having to go to 6. Oh yeah, this is Steven just snapping off the Inquisition. Probably grabbing to Fairy here would be my guess.
Yeah, let's see.
Snapcaster
Mage is always a good one as well.
Yeah, maybe even the Op, just because it's only castable card in his hand right now.
Steven's probably already got, or probably also has some more discard, so he'll be able to get some other things later. Opt is the one he's going to be able to cast this turn. Snapcaster Mage isn't going to be too relevant next turn, so if he wants to take that, he'll be able to next turn as well.
Yeah, this is...
Does he have...
Brendan's hand does a whole lot of actually nothing against Steven here, which is real unfortunate. The Jace is going to be potentially relevant if he's able to get it online, but Steven's got a hand of gas and is ready to start some fires. Brendan's able to fetch for a Hollowed Fountain here. Just kind of let it come in tapped.
Let's see. Alright, so Brendan untapping here, taking his turn. Looks like he got a land, which is pretty necessary.
Yeah, definitely what he was looking for here.
Steven on curve with the Ren and 6 again.
It's fetching.
Definitely probably one of his best turn 2 plays against blue-white control.
Yeah, probably just finding Overgrown Tomb here, yep.
Yep, it looks like Brendan is gonna.
Just smack the Teferi down plus pass.
Interesting. I would think minusing and drawing a card would probably be what you want to do. Maybe I'm wrong.
Potentially.
Getting the card draw right away is pretty important.
I think Brendan is hesitant to do that just because Steven could just minus Ren and ping it off. But, yeah.
Oh, that's right. I forgot.
It also would be dying. Yeah.
Yep. That makes sense. Ren and 6 being able to minus and kill Teferi right away. 3 mana cycle is not really where you want to be at. So I guess I understand and agree with his decision there.
Oh yeah, this game is gone from bad to worse here for Brendan.
Liliana and Ren and 6, a pretty nasty combination of cards.
Very
there.
Disgusting combination.
Against
Steven's able
control.
to just dump a land and pick it back up with Ren and 6. Notably, Ren and 6's -1 is primarily the reason it got banned from Legacy, I believe. It's just so many relevant creatures in these older formats with 1 toughness. Ren and 6 just being an absolute powerhouse at 2 mana.
Absolutely. Looks like we might be able to play Jace, so we're going to go all Planeswalkers here in the second game here.
Almost certainly just slamming the Jace here from Brendan. What would you do, though? Would you, what would you do with the Jace? Just 0 it, plus it? What's your plan B?
Well, knowing that his opponent could potentially untap and Bloodbraid Elf is, definitely makes it
Something you want to think about.
Yeah, but at the same time, you want value right away. I would probably say 0 it. But if he pluses it, it can get it out of the range of Bloodbraid Elf plus minus Ren and 6. Let's see. So it looks like he did take down the Teferi to draw the card. Wasn't really punished for plussing it last turn, so that's good. Yeah, he did the Jace. It looks like he zeroed it. Just get rid of the bad cards. Hopefully maybe he has a fetch land next turn. Let's see.
Yeah, I do believe Steven also does have the Bolt in hand to just ping the Jace off.
Yeah.
Steven looking to plus Lily.
He does have the Bloodbraid
Elf. Has the
Elf.
Bloodbraid Elf. Just gonna
Let's see what he hits.
Swinging at Jace.
Yep. Thoughtseize. This is being a very clean 3-for-1 almost. Just because he gets the body, he gets to kill a Planeswalker. He's gonna Thoughtseize, take a card.
Probably just a snappy here, right?
Almost definitely. What's the other card? Oh, it looks like he took the path, which.
Can't Thoughtseize?
What was that?
Oh, Teferi. Gotcha. So he can't. Unfortunately, does not get the Cascade trigger because Teferi is in play.
Yes, that is the other good mode of Teferi.
Steven is stuck here playing Hearthstone while our friend Brendan is actually playing Magic the Gathering. It's like he's just passed back to Steven. Steven swinging in. It's like he's just going to take the jump block here.
Not sure what he picked there with the flashback.
I would assume Path to Exile.
I would too.
Opt, or
just
possibly
in case...
just Opt so he actually has something to do with his mana. Yeah.
Looks like he did target Opt. Just gives him options. Let's see.
Yeah, Steven just plussing Lily and dumping another land here, almost certainly.
Yeah, let's see. And Steven has the Abrupt Decay.
Ooh, the person...
Take care of the Teferi, had the removal... Oh, it had the Ren and 6 to get rid of the Snapcaster Mage that he was forced to play.
Yeah. Our wonderful tech, the myth, the man, the legend, Axton, is making some fantastic puns, noting that Brendan did have options, and did indeed go with the opt. I don't know what Brendan's doing, but if it were me, it would be picking up my deck and conceding the game again, because
John looking like a very dominating
dominant deck
matchup
in the format right now, and definitely just stomping blue-white control. It's really unfortunate because Brendan is definitely making all of the right plays. Steven's deck just, I feel like, has a very strong advantage in this matchup.
Yeah, I would say Jun's bad matchups are probably more of combo decks that can just act fast enough and through resilient.
How would you say Jun does against aggro decks?
Aggro, let's see. Well,
They do play quite a bit of removal, but
they do pain themselves a lot. But they have very strong bodies like Tarmogoyf and tons of removal to kind of
definitely also did see a couple cards in Steven's board that are good against Burn, like Dampening Sphere, so Burn might also be a matchup that the Jun struggles with.
Dampening Sphere is actually kind of a weird one. I don't know if I would slide that in. I know it kind of slows your opponent down, but...
I guess I was thinking like Storm more so than
Burn. Yeah, definitely a good one against Storm.
Goyf coming as a 5/6. Oh,
Brendan
cryptic.
can't. Oh, let's see. It looks like he chose bounce draw, bouncing the Lily, just making sure it's not going to ultimate. Pretty solid play on Brendan's part. Just doing what he can. To try to get himself back in this game.
Yeah, blue-white control definitely seems to struggle against cards like Thoughtseize and like basically just hand destruction. And Liliana's just so good in this matchup. Steven being able to just pick up lands and return to discard absolutely does not care. Oh, there's the Liliana Blasto from the sideboard.
Yeah, looks like
this resolves. This is almost certainly going to be game-winning. I believe Brendan has Snapcaster in hand. Just discarded the Archmage's Charm here off the Lily Plus.
What did he grab there? It looked like he grabbed a spell, but I must be wrong because Liliana only grabs creatures.
Brendan ripping another Archmage's Charm off the top.
Oh, it looks like he got a Bloodburied Elf. Okay, with the minus of the Liliana, which is a pretty good call. That's going to be 2 for 1. Doesn't have the Teferi, so.
Steven here just really looking to close out this game. Get some dudes on board and start smacking Brendan for what's potentially lethal. The Force of Negation. Just flashes in. It's just going to die to this Renin 6 here.
Let's see.
Liliana of Last Hope is just such a good looking card. That Mythic Edition art is really sweet.
I don't think he has the Mythic Edition art, but
Mythic Edition is definitely sweet. Was showing up, yeah. The Steven again with cards in hand versus his blue-white opponent with no board presence and no cards in hand looks to certainly have this game in the bag. But
and a Raging Ravine also very good against blue-white control.
His looks to just smack him for what I believe is 8.
Yeah.
Cascade Trigger. Let's see what he grabs here.
No, I think that's already happened.
Never mind. I was thinking Cascaded on combat. That's not how that works.
Yeah. Okay.
That would be. Are there any cards that cascade whenever it attacks?
No, but there is Yidris that, like, when it deals damage, all your spells get cascade. Not quite the same thing, but definitely similar.
Sweet. Yeah, this match over. Steven taking it a quick 2-0. Brendan really played the best as he could, but clearly just a rough matchup here for blue-white. We're going to leave you guys here with the time machine until the next round. Thank you for tuning in, and we will be back when the next round starts.
Okay, hello everybody, my name is Alex, and welcome to the Theros Beyond Death pre-release here at Paradise Games. I am joined by fellow Scoop Mom member James.
How's it going?
Hello, James.
I'm James.
Yeah, we're here for some deck building here for the upcoming event. Obviously, every pre-release event comes with some deck building beforehand, so I'm going to sit here in the room with James. Obviously, I will be in the booth today, so I'm going to do my best not to give too much assistance, but figured I'd come alongside and join him as he opens the packs as we get our hands on these cards for the first time. So go ahead and crack it open.
Let's do this thing.
All right, what are you hoping to pull?
Uro.
Just Uro? Number one, snap off Uro?
I do not care about the rest of the cards.
Uro does seem like
This is a Temple of Malice.
The best card. Temple of Malice, the pre-release promo. That's certainly a pretty good one. Go ahead and open it up. Your pack here for you. Show a little bit of the camera. This is a pretty foil. I like it.
This card is bad.
Nyx Bloom Ancient is the first rare here. So what is your general sealed... God, I cannot get this open. What is your general sealed deck building process here? Talk to me a little bit about how you're going to be working this out.
Usually goes into curve, and then it usually goes into cards that I like, and then it goes into I like all of them, and then it's kind of like usually more than 2 colors. Usually less than 5.
More than 2, less than 5.
But
that's a pretty good place to be.
Yeah. I'm leaning towards black in this set because the black looks insane.
I think that the black cards are also the best.
Yeah.
At a glance, I lean towards black being the best color. So notable here, we got a Nyx.
This card is insane.
Whoa, Strider, hello. So these are the rares. We got the commons and uncommons filling it up. Notable uncommons so far. I like this Enemy of Enlightenment. That card's been pretty impressive on Arena over the last little bit.
This card is better than this card, but yeah.
Yeah, at a glance, I thought this card was like not that good, but I have actually been impressed with it.
It is good. I will put it in my deck.
Yeah, for sure.
But this card is better than this.
Yeah,
card.
I do quite like the Discordant Priest. Of course, you're gonna have to stick with me. Obviously, a lot of the actual cards are so new that I'm not 100% on names yet. So such is the way of pre-release and all that. All right, so just moving along. Where are we looking at so far? What are you liking so far? This is what, 3 packs in? Or this is 2 packs.
This is 2. This is the third one.
Right, so
I'm leaning towards black.
We got a really good black rare.
I'm not just playing this card at all.
Yeah, 7-mana 5/5 that basically doesn't have any text is like just not where you want to be. I mean, 7-mana cards are fine in sealed. It's sealed, but probably not a huge fan of that one.
Oh, I love this card.
Yes, absolutely. The gotta read this one. Protean Thaumaturge. Protean Thaumaturge is a super cool card. I think it's actually very powerful as well.
Dude, you get the Kiora beats the Sea God.
Oh yeah,
and then
Kiora beats the Sea Gods.
Yeah,
8/8 Krakens. That seems really sweet. So we're just lining out our colored spells. It looks like we have most white cards currently, and our white cards actually do look pretty good. 2 copies of Dreadful the second word. Dreadful Apathy. I knew it was something like that.
Yeah.
I was gonna say Dreadful Apparition, but I knew that was wrong. Dreadful Apathy seems pretty appealing so far, and this is halfway through the sealed pool, so
yeah,
things are looking pretty promising here. Looking for some more bombies here to really round it out, obviously.
Satyr,
hello.
This card's neat.
Ooh, Hackdos.
I won't say it's good.
Hackdos the Unseen, okay.
I will say it's neat.
The Unscarred, excuse me.
It's a random... I like randomness, so that's dope. But it's a 6/1, so it's like a True Name Nemesis, but like a little less upside.
Yeah, it's certainly a little less upside. Red, white is really a relatively large cost. It makes it...
It's a large downside, yeah.
Pretty much unsplashable. Obviously, it's going to be really good in your red-white deck, and it's certainly a reason to be red and white, but, potentially is not exactly if you aren't red white, it's probably not
Ooh,
going.
Timurit's
not going
really
in your
good.
deck. Oh, Timurit is an excellent uncommon. Timurit,
Yeah.
chosen from death. Alrighty, going into pack number 5 here. Of course, everybody does get a special pre-release promo rare. In case you aren't aware, when you come to a pre-release, you get a pre-release promo rare. So he's going to have essentially 7 rares in his pool, and obviously Temple of Malice, not the biggest sealed bomb here or
No.
anything, but it's going to be a nice one for constructed.
Neither
for sure.
is Idyllic Tutor.
Yeah, Idyllic Tutor, kind of a brick, unfortunately.
Yeah,
More white cards keep flowing though, that's for sure.
they do.
Yeah, this white red might not be as far out of the plan as we may have initially thought. Ooh, we got a sweet copy of
Caliphate.
Caliphate.
Judge. Caliphate?
Caliphate. Sure. However you're supposed to pronounce
Yeah.
it.
I mean, like, it's a 3-mana power devotion. It's a taxer.
With the tax. Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
pretty reasonable. It's a 3-mana 2/3 with some upside.
Yeah.
You know, it gets bigger and it's slightly harder to remove than normal, so totally reasonable card. Unfortunately, Idyllic Tutor looks like kind of a brick here. This is the last pack, so we'll have to see.
Tentacle.
Ooh, got a tentacle token. Nice. All right.
Ooh,
What's the rare?
This
Ooh,
card's-
foil Final Death. That's a good one.
a Ternica.
Ooh, this card
Prone
is
veteran.
nice.
What's this card do?
Well, that's a reader. Yeah.
Attacks, untap another target creature you control, and turn that creature has base power 4/4, gains indestructible. Neat. And has vigilance. I like vigilance.
Yeah. Put your rares up here, James. This is the rare pile. This is the rare line. This is the line of rares. Come on, we had a thing going.
We did. What happened to us?
Yeah, Ternica, a Crone veteran. That one looks quite good to me.
Yeah, so maybe I'm playing black-white because I think this black is good.
Foil Final Death certainly helps.
Yeah.
The black kind of getting there at the end for sure.
Another Final Death.
Second copy of Final Death. Are those the only 2 Final Deaths you have? Or
Yeah,
you looking at extra removal?
Let me look at my removal. But Final Death.
Yeah, looking at your amount of removal is usually a pretty good determiner
This card's good.
of what you're supposed to do in a sealed format and all that.
Card's pretty medium.
Just doing some thinking.
Yeah. What's in this one?
So it looks like you pulled out 2 Final Death, which of course are just 5 mana, exile target creature at instant speed.
Absolutely.
Can't really
fine.
go wrong with that. And you also
Yeah.
pulled out this Venomous Hierophant, which is a 4 mana 3/3 with Death Touch. When it enters the battlefield, you get to put the top 3 cards of your library into your graveyard. So why'd you pull out? These two kind of stand out as sort of obvious, but this one,
This was not the card I thought it was.
not the card you thought it was. that tracks.
I thought it was the other Gorgon that when it escapes, it gets a +1/+1 counter, and on ETB, opponent sacrifices non-Gorgon creature.
Oh, that card's insane.
Yeah, that card's really good.
Yeah, that card's really insane. So
Yeah.
that's not quite as good. I was curious why you pulled that one out. I wanted to talk to you a little bit about that one. I do think the card's certainly playable.
Oh yeah, we can stop talking about it though.
Probably, yeah.
What's in here? What's the? Oh, this one.
Looking through the white cards, Dreadful Apathy pulled out here. Dreadful Apathy, of course, 3 mana enchantment. Enchanted creature cannot attack or block, and you pay 3 mana to exile the enchanted creature. So certainly a pretty sweet piece of removal as well. So it looks like we're looking at double Final Death, double Dreadful Apathy. That's pretty appealing, absolutely.
Yeah.
Triple Dreadful Apathy, as a matter of fact. That's a pretty good start to a sealed deck.
Yeah.
Toss a couple of rares on there, and you're probably doing it.
Let's see, are any of these double costed? This guy is, but he's
Think
like,
about potential splashes.
yeah.
Potential splashes seem pretty appealing.
What about this? Medium. This guy's good. Okay, so there's one double splash I would consider for this deck, or a double colored deck, or card, whatever.
What's the double colored card? that you'd
Timurit,
be considering. Timurit calls the death.
because he's
Or
like pretty
chosen for death.
because
Chosen
he's,
from
like,
death, excuse me.
pretty insane.
Yeah, Timurit chosen from death, for those of you who are not aware, of course, because it is a new set. Timurit's toughness. It's black for a 2-star. Its toughness is equal to your devotion to black. And for 2 mana, 1 and a black, you can exile up to 2 target cards from graveyards. You gain 1 life for each creature card exiled this way. So exiling cards from graveyards, obviously super relevant in this format, with escape being a very key mechanic. And there's a lot of graveyard play because of escape existing. And just gaining some extra life is not irrelevant either. So certainly pretty relevant. Taking a look at the blue, anything stand out to you in blue?
Not really. I'm looking for like escape cards, and the only thing I see is Sleep of the Dead. Otherwise, I have like no playable escape cards.
Sleep of the Dead, of course, being just a card that taps some creatures. Doesn't look particularly playable to me. And yeah, what appears to be a relatively weak blue pool at a quick flip through there. Green look a little better by chance?
It's a double green escape, which I don't know if I can afford.
Just giving a flip through, I see a Plummet. Of course, Plummet, a staple. Thinking about...
Oh, this one?
Yeah, the Lonesome
really
Chimera,
medium.
which is a 3-mana 4/1 that can... Loathsome Chimera, which is a 3-mana 4/1. That's all of its text on its front side, but it can escape for 5 mana and by exiling 3 other cards from your graveyard. And I suppose that this is the first time we've actually taken a look at an escape card, but we've been looking at it. So escape is the new mechanic from Theros Beyond Death. Escape says escape, and then there's a cost. So you can pay that cost while it is in your graveyard, and the escape cost is always a mana cost accompanied by exiling some number of cards from your graveyard. So example... this Chimera must escape for 5 mana and exiling 3 other cards from your graveyard, and then you get to recast it, and they often come with some bonuses when you're escaping them from your graveyard. So, for example, Loathsome Chimera escapes with a +1/+1 counter on it. So, pretty bread and butter 3-mana 4/1 creature here, and pretty normal. It's also articulated very well on this Voracious Typhon, which is a 4-mana 4/4 that escapes as a 7-mana 7/7. So it escapes for 7 mana, exiling 4 other cards with 3 +1/+1 counters on it. So you're getting a 4-mana 4/4 at base, and then you can play it as a 7-mana 7/7 later in the game. So certainly pretty valuable.
Just to point out, escape does not exile itself or anything.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, very, very, very important that escape does not exile itself afterwards, so you can continue escaping as the game goes on and just keep accruing value as long as you have enough time to do that. And the Woe Strider, of course, is another powerful escape engine, and
that has escape too, right?
Probably going to be looking to abuse.
Yeah. So I think I'm just black-white because I think the rest of my pool sucks.
The rest of the pool, nothing too appealing in the Teamer Shard.
No. So I think it's time for me to go home because I didn't open an Uro. And I think that's what I said on camera yesterday.
Yeah, I think I do vaguely remember that as well. Yeah, so
it's media. 3-mana 2/1 flyer, maybe.
Yeah, Scavenging Harpy, pretty reasonable. It's 3-mana 2/1 flyer. When it enters the battlefield, it exiles a card from an opponent's graveyard. Pretty reasonable. It's a 3-mana 2/1 flyer with some upside. The upside's actually pretty relevant in this format. So, but at the end of the day, it's a 3-mana 2/1 flyer. It's slightly downgraded Windrake.
Yeah.
Of course, when you're looking for cards to put in your deck, it's a card that you can put in your deck.
Funeral Rites is good. It's a sign or what's it? It's not Sign Blood. It's Read the Bones.
Read the Bones.
Exactly. You draw 2, lose 2, and then you put 2 cards in your library to feel escape cards.
Yeah, and then you mill 2. So instead of getting the Scry 2 from Read the Bones, you get to mill 2. So potentially better than Read the Bones in this particular limited format with all of the escape cards floating around. So we got a couple of those coming in. Obviously, just some curve filler getting put in here. We got the 2-mana 2/1s that create a 0/1 goat when they die. We got the Venomous Hierophant that we talked way too much about earlier. It's 4-mana 3/3 with Death Touch that mills you for 3. So all in all, not too bad. Ooh, we got a goat token to go with our Discordant Piper.
To go with Woe Strider.
To go with Woe Strider. Of course. I forgot about the synergy between Woe Strider and Discordant Piper. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Obviously got our Dreadful Apathies going in.
I don't know if I put all 3 in. this is probably good enough to go in.
Triumphant Surge, of course, destroy target creature
Yeah.
with power 4 or greater, and you gain 3 life as instant speed. Certainly a removal spell that you're going to be happy to put in your sealed deck pretty much all the time. Power 4 or greater creatures. It's not going to deal with all of the problems you have. There's some pesky uncommons that ring a bell that have less than 4 power, but for the most part, 4 power is going to deal with the problem that you have, and of course with a couple final attempts to be able to clean things up. Feeling pretty good about that.
Don't know how I feel about this card. I don't think this is good in sealed formats or almost any.
Flicker of Fate's an interesting one,
Yeah.
for sure. It's one of those cards that I could easily see being very good in this format, just based on how things play out. But usually those effects are more or less take them or leave them, and sealed particularly. But it's certainly one of those cards that you should keep an eye on in your sealed pool, because you could easily take a look down at your sealed pool and think to yourself, wow, this has a lot of modes on it in this deck.
Yeah.
So looks like Heliod's Punishment going to make your way into the deck. Heliod's Punishment, one of the more interesting and wordier cards in this
Yeah.
deck. It's a new take on a pacifism, for sure. So I'm sure we've got it up on screen for you, but it allows you to basically turn something off for 4 turns. It's essentially get that out of here for 4 turns is what it's going to do.
You know what? The third Dreadful Apathy is just better than that.
All right. Third Dreadful Apathy finds its way in.
And this is just Dreadful Apathy with downside.
More or less.
Yeah.
Dreadful Apathy is obviously going to be a very powerful effect in a sealed format. So.
Yeah, and this says loses all abilities, but I'm not really too worried about that.
If you're putting the 3 Dreadful Apathies in your deck, I can safely say I agree with that choice.
Yeah. Don't want that one. How many cards is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Where did the other cards go?
Looking at 16.
Uh,
Yeah, you have more cards. Where'd they go? Did you put them in this pile?
where did Big Boy Vigilance Man go?
Big Boy Vigilance Man?
There he
There's
is.
Big Boy Vigilance Man.
That's 17.
Tarnika, the Akroan Veteran, of course. Going to be probably one of the best cards in your deck as a non-color rare. It usually tends to be. It's going to be pumping pretty much every creature you have in play here, and also, making them indestructible. Certainly not to be
Not a small deal.
not a joke. Obvious.
This
Absolutely
goat
not a
can
joke.
become a threat.
Oh yeah, the fact that you have goat tokens is actually pretty insane with Tarnika.
Yeah. So this 17, 23 is the number.
Yeah, you're looking for 23 playable.
17
So we're
is the land thing.
gonna have to scrounge out some extra cards here. 23-17, the normal split
Yeah.
between spells and lands that you're gonna want to make. Flipping through just the extra cards, you pulled out obviously the good ones that you're interested in putting in your deck, and now we're mostly just gonna look to fill out our curve and find the cards that we're going to be okay putting in our deck. So we found a Omen of the Sun, 3 mana enchantment. It has flash, as do all of the omens.
Yeah.
When it enters the battlefield, you make 2 1/1 creatures, and you can pay 3 mana and sacrifice it to scry 2 as you can.
You also
with all
gain
of the
2 life
omens.
with
Oh,
Omen
you
of the
also
Sun.
gain 2 life, excuse me.
Which
Thank you
could
very
be
much.
important.
Yeah. And then we took an Improbable Will, which is just target creature gets +2/+1.
Indomitable.
Indomitable Will, excuse me. Target creature gets +2/+1. All other creatures you control get +1/+1. And then we have a Temple Thief, which is a 2/2 that cannot be blocked by enchantment creatures or creatures that are enchanted. So 2/2 with some upside,
1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
but
6,
mostly
7, 8,
curve filler.
9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20.
Looking at 20 so far, so we're going to need to scrounge for a couple more here.
Well, looks like we're putting these in.
So, Nyx Bloom
And that one.
Marauder, it's a 4 mana 4/3. It's an enchantment creature, that's its only text. And then Aspect of Lamprey.
Lamprey.
Aspect of Lamprey, enchanted creature has, it's an aura, excuse me. Enchanted creature has lifelink. When it enters the battlefield, target opponent discards 2 cards. So, it's mostly a different take on a Mind Rot, and then we just slapped in a 3 mana 2/4 with no abilities. It's an enchantment creature as well, the Nyx Bloom Courser. Nyx Bloom Courser, excuse me.
Deciding if this or that is better.
Yeah, looking at 23 cards now, so now we're just going to take a flick through, see if there's anything we want. Sentinel's Eyes, of course, 1 mana. Enchanted creature gets +1/+1 and has vigilance. It escapes for a white and exiling 2 other cards from the graveyard. Certainly an option that's available to you. Obviously,
Yeah.
we're mostly looking at replacement level effects here. Yeah, just thinking.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, absolutely. So this This pool looks pretty interesting to me. So how do you think that games with this are gonna play out? Like, what's your main plan here with this archetype? You think he gets more aggressive, more controlling, somewhere in the middle?
It's got to be somewhere in the middle. I wish I had more top end. I just have this Enemy of Enlightenment, which is kind of disappointing. No real big like bombs. Like this Terranica is probably gonna be the one that carries me to victory most of the time.
Yeah.
Like I can get in there with 2-1s and like whatever.
Yeah, the 2-1 beats plan, it really looks to be mostly where you're going backed up with some removal spells to try and get your 2-1 beaters through.
Yeah. And so it's like a little heavy on removal. Yeah. There's 3 and 2 here.
Quite a bit of removal is certainly
and
the
this
strong
has
point.
Touch, which is sweet.
Yeah, a lot of removal is the strong point of this pool. Absolutely. So, between triple Dreadful Apathy, double Final Death, you're going to be able to kill the things that need to get killed, hopefully. And, a couple funeral rites means that hopefully you can find the way to get to them.
This guy Death Touch is indestructible. That's sweet.
Well, that's really sweet, yeah.
I think I'm kind of heavy on spells, so I will not play the Sentinel Eyes.
Alrighty.
So I have a lot of just like actual spells where I wish I had more creatures, but I don't think the rest of my creatures are good enough to put in here. And Constellation's a mechanic that I'm not going to be triggering.
Yeah, Constellation is...
Yeah.
It looks like our deck does not have any particular care for Constellation. Notably, the deck's a little lacking on Theros mechanics in general.
Yeah.
We got a lot of creatures that you could see in any set, essentially. But obviously, they've got their Theros Beyond Death Flare. This deck looks pretty sweet to me. It looks quite fun.
Hopefully that's the plan.
If I'm being honest, I would certainly love to play it. But I'll be in the booth, of course, watching you play it.
What an idiot.
watching you from afar. So
yeah.
These are the white cards that are currently not in the deck.
So I think this is what I'm doing.
Yeah, so now we gotta think about mana. So what do you think as far as mana base? Oh, 2 plains in a swamp, huh? You're about 17 cards short of a deck there. So
17 lands. Thinking like
the nice card in there.
Hello, welcome back to the modern stream. We have Patrick Merrifield playing against Alex Moores, both members of Scoop Mob, I believe. Maybe not Patrick. Alex definitely referenced Scoop Mob.
Yeah, I don't think Patrick is, but...
Patrick is on Lantern Control, and Alex Moore is going to be playing Amulet Titan. Alex, starting off with the turn 0... don't remember what that card's called because it's banned in the formats I play.
Yeah.
Turn 0, Once Upon a Time, picking up a forest, it looked like. Playing the Sakura Tribe Scout.
All
Ooh,
right,
Patrick with a turn 1 Pithing Needle. Curious to find out what he's naming with that.
Looks like naming Tribe Scout pretty good on Patrick. Something that's on the board. He knows he's gonna get value off of it. Don't really know. Let's see. Titan.
Ooh.
Can't really think of many other things to name.
Alex already finding Amulet. Getting the pieces together. He's gonna be able to start just slamming down dudes here pretty soon.
Alex getting in there because nothing else the Tribe Scout's doing. Patrick, his plan is going to be to control both his opponent's hand and the top of the deck using the card Lantern of Insight. Maybe we can get a view of that card.
If you guys are unfamiliar with Lantern Control, the whole point of this deck, Lantern makes it so both players play with the top card of their library revealed. You can pay 2 mana or 1 or 2 mana and sack it and force both
I think it's
players.
actually free.
You
just get a tap, sack it, and each player shuffles their library.
Yeah, so you sack it, both players shuffle. Patrick has, I don't think it's called Grindstone. Is it Grindstone?
I don't think he has Grindstone. I don't know if that's modern. It might be modern legal. I don't think it is.
It is a 1 mana card that makes both players mill the top card of their library.
Oh, yeah, he has Ghoul Caller's Bell, and then there's Codex Shredder.
Codex Shredder, definitely the card I'm thinking about. It is actually free to sack Lantern. I'm
Yeah.
stupid. Don't worry about it.
Looks like Patrick's stuck on a one-lander. Kind of sucks because the deck plays Ensnaring Bridge. He wants to be able to get the cards out as soon as possible. Patrick's starting on the mill plan.
Dumping
Doesn't
his
care
Titan.
about the land. Which makes sense when there's a Titan on top of his opponent's hand. Or deck.
I feel like this Vesuva on top for Alex. I'd imagine Patrick is going to mill again on his untap or during his upkeep on his turn.
Yeah,
Really needs to
Vesuva is
find
a
a
pretty,
land
pretty
Well,
versatile land, especially
but,
because he
like-
gets to pick it up, and it's always what he wants when he wants it. But yeah, it looks like he doesn't make that decision. It's probably not
I'm not
on.
talking about Alex. I'm talking about Patrick. Like,
Yeah. I mean, Alex can't do anything with what's on top of his deck. Patrick is the only one that.
but he doesn't want to drive Pithing Needle. He already has a Pithing Needle.
I mean, there might be other Pithing Needle targets. He could name Slayer Stronghold, which isn't the best, but definitely stops him from dying in one turn. Let's see. Alex with the Ancient Stirrings,
handful of mana
picking
here.
a colorless card. I think this is the Ancient Stirrings. I think. Maybe I'm wrong.
Oh.
Okay, that one was the Ancient Stirrings. Grabs Walking
Grabs
Ballista.
Walking Ballista. He's going to just be able to start beating Patrick down pretty violently here.
Let's see.
I'm curious to see how big Alex actually makes the Ballista, because if he makes it too big and Patrick gets the bridge online, it's not going to be able to attack.
Yeah, but he can always make it as small as he wants it to be.
Oh, it's fair. You can just remove Walking
Yeah.
Ballista. OP, actually. For some reason.
Card's $40 for a reason here, folks. But yeah, let's see. Blast Zone is a really great
this is gonna
pickup
absolutely
for
demolish Patrick.
Yeah, Patrick's cards all being 1 mana for the most part. And it just being a non-spell way to kind of answer cards.
Ooh, Patrick just dumping all the Titans out of Alex's deck. Definitely very strong, but this Ballista and Blast Zone are probably going to be more than enough for Alex to just win.
Well, definitely. I mean, Patrick has been holding on to a bunch of his cards because he hasn't had lands to play them out. So, as long as Patrick can find a way to get rid of the creatures that are on the field, there's not many big hitters in Alex's deck.
Curious to see if didn't look too hard, but I'm curious if Alex is playing Hornet Queen.
Definitely possible in the 75. I've seen it a couple of times. But almost assuredly not in the main deck.
I don't know. Stephen Boston, very good player. The one time I did play against him, he was indeed playing Hornet Queen in the main.
Looks like
Got
confirmation.
from Accent. There is no Hornet Queen in main.
Let's see.
You just
Pretty
slamming another
sure.
Pithing
Yeah,
Needle.
pretty sure.
Probably
Patrick...
Stronghold.
Oh,
here.
naming Blast Zone for sure.
Oh yeah. Duh.
Yeah. Good call on Patrick.
Yeah. He's gonna keep his cards from getting blown up. Ooh, Alex getting another amulet here is definitely very strong.
Patrick's deck being very sweet because it's very good at controlling the board.
Oh, amulet less strong now. Alex has no Titans. And a handful of lands. Patrick might actually just get there, but he's going to be getting smacked for quite a bit each turn from this Walking Ballista.
Yeah, I think Walking Ballista is probably going to be the main way Alex gets out of this.
How big is that Ballista? A 2/2? 3/3?
I can't quite see the
I
counters.
believe
It
it
looks...
is a... We can just pay to put more on it?
Yeah, it
This
has a
card-
4 mana activated
Jesus
ability.
Christ, that card's dumb.
Puts more cards on it. And Patrick with the Adventurer's Fair being very good as well, allowing him to
Finding lands.
gain life off of
Patrick
having
has
3 or more
two Emeries
artifacts.
here. Definitely plays one.
Confirmation that Ballista is on 2 right now.
Yeah, this is it's
Pretty
gonna
much.
be a pretty grindy game here. Alex is probably going to want to dump that Once Upon a Time off the top, especially since none of their... Yeah. Patrick almost certainly going to mill the top card of the libraries here. The third Emery is definitely significantly worse than the first two. Once Upon a Time is going to let Alex dig for something relevant.
Yeah, pretty much Patrick just needs to worry about finding a way to get rid of Walking Ballista. Then I think the only things he's going to have to figure out how to beat is Sakura Tribe Scout and a Zeus attacking, which is pretty easy when they're one-power creatures. And Alex
Mill's
looking
the top
for...
there. I believe that is a Garen Brig on top for Alex and some land that I don't know.
Spires of Industry for
That
Patrick.
one.
Pretty much a mana confluence, however, it does add a colorless when you don't make colored mana. And it only does it if you have 3 or more artifacts. And then Patrick playing Ensnaring Bridge. Yep. Not as great when he's still got 3 cards in hand, but cards definitely going to be relevant at some point. Once he's able to dump all the cards in his hand.
Should be very, very shortly. He's got mana now and a bunch of 2-1 drops in his hand.
Still worrying about this Walking Ballista.
Is that a Fatal Push? Yeah, so he has a Fatal Push in it. You just dump the Ballista.
Yeah, but as soon as he has the mana, which Spires of Industry now gives him the black mana, which is good. What do we got? We got a Boros Garrison on top and a Codex Shredder. Looks like Alex wants to keep the Codex Shredder, I think, just to have more control of the top of...
Patrick's on.
Yeah. Patrick has the Codex Shredder. Just needs more control off the top of the deck. In case there's 2 back-to-back spells.
Yeah, this game
Fatal Push, taking care of the Walking Ballista.
Real rough for Alex here. Patrick is getting his lock on...
Getting the Emery finally out there. Now he's going to be able to buy back any artifacts if Alex finds a way to remove them.
Thoughtseize in hand and on top for Patrick. Taking the 2 damage here is actually pretty relevant. I'm going to be curious to see if he keeps his Thoughtseize on top.
Yeah, at least he's got the life gain from the Adventurers Fair.
Does it just gain life for all the artifacts you
No. It gains 1 life at the beginning of your upkeep.
Gotcha.
If you have if you have 8 artifacts, I think. And then if you have 3 or more, then you can activate its ability to tutor for an artifact in your library.
That's pretty spicy.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah, this is definitely a rough spot for Alex.
Yeah.
They're not...
one thing that Alex can do, which it looks like he might be doing, is...
Is Patrick just not blocking? Aren't they just 1/1s?
Yeah, but he has the Boros Garrison and the Slayer Stronghold.
But they're tapped.
Well, I think he activated it, probably. So it gives +2/+0 First Strike and Vigilance at instant speed. So
Gotcha.
if Patrick decides to block, he can activate it. And it gives Trample, I believe. So not really good to block, and also lets him kind of get under.
Patrick's just dumping his hand here. If Patrick has no cards in hand, then Alex... How does Ensnaring Bridge read? Because Alex can... if his creatures have 0 power, which none of them do, he could hypothetically attack and then pump them, right?
Yeah, it is a sweet thing with Birds of Paradise. I used to see with Noble Hierarch and Birds of Paradise, people just getting in there under the bridge. So there are ways like that. However, I don't think Alex has a single way like that in the deck.
Yeah. Patrick really wanted to keep his hand empty here then, which is definitely easy for him to do.
Yeah. Especially when he's controlling the top card of his deck. He really can't find a card that he can't get out of his hand. This game's looking pretty over. Even though life totals are a little deceiving, Lantern doesn't actually deal damage to your opponent. You just mill them out once you control the deck. So
yeah. Patrick is playing Davriel's, which is a Planeswalker from War of the Spark, which
that's sweet.
forces your opponent to discard and deals a little bit of damage. So, or is it? It is discard. It's not mill.
Yeah.
It's not mill.
Yep. Engineered explosives. That is really good pickup.
Yeah, that's quite possibly just gonna blow Patrick out of this game.
Yeah, I'm not sure where we're at right now. If Patrick can find a way to get rid of that.
Oh, Davriel is only in Patrick's sideboard, not in his main deck.
Alright, well, it looks like Alex is untapping with engineered explosives in his hand, so
This is where we get to see if Patrick concedes on the spot or not.
yeah, I don't know if it's quite there.
Engineered Explosives
actually,
also destroys both of his creatures.
because he won't be able to attack still if he doesn't do it on 3, and if he does it on 3, let's see. I guess if he does it on 3, Alex or Patrick might just be dead. He is at 4, and
Wouldn't you want to
opponent has
just
the
do it on
Slayer's
one?
Stronghold. Well, he can't attack through Ensnaring Bridge. So if he does it on 1, it sure blows up all of his things. But if he does it on 3, he can attack. And I don't think he has a way to stop. Looks like he did it on 1. Looking to just stop the control.
He's probably doing it on 1, so he
And
can,
then he gets Blast Zone from Pithing Needles.
Yeah, so he can.
So I suppose.
Yeah, he wants to get rid of the Pithing Needles so he can blast on the bridge. It's definitely the correct play here from Alex.
Patrick taking a second with some tough decisions here. He has a really good card on his deck being Whir of Intervention, being able to tutor for any artifact he needs at instant speed. However, his opponent's also got a Pact of Negation, which can be pretty...
Definitely stops the whir. But I can see Patrick not milling because Alex having a blow pact is essentially time walking himself. Drown in the Lock here, definitely a really good card for Patrick. He's going to be able to get rid of that Engineered Explosives.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, don't want to do
doesn't.
that. But he's going to counterspell something.
Yeah.
Does it only destroy creatures?
Creatures with cards less than the cards in the graveyard, and
Which
then
is anything at
and then
this point,
counter.
so.
Yeah, exactly. He is gonna want to play it though this turn, so he's not really gonna be able to counter anything. Otherwise, the 1-power creatures will be able to get through Ensnaring Bridge.
This is going to be...
Having Emery to be able to buy back stuff from the graveyard is pretty solid at the moment. Means that if his opponent does engineer explosives, he'll be able to buy back some of those.
Curious if Patrick even has an out here at this point.
I'm sure the game is still very live.
A breeding pool for Alex. Curious what his top card is going to be here.
Field of the
Alright,
Dead.
Field of the Dead. If Alex is able to get that down, which almost certainly will not be, very, very much expect Patrick to mill the top here. Field of the Dead is a nearly unbeatable...
I mean, Ensnaring Bridge.
yeah,
definitely.
Ensnaring Bridge stops it, but Alex has ways on the board to get rid of that if he's able to blow up his engineered explosives and then blast zone the bridge away.
Nonetheless, Patrick having absolutely none of it with Field of the Dead. Milling it to
Yeah.
the graveyard.
Lily on top, really
Interesting.
great. Oh, he's milling it. Another Lily on top.
It's just so-
Looks like Patrick is just nuts at this game.
I guess he needs it off the top because he doesn't have the double black mana.
Oh, that's
and
fair,
he
yeah.
can't have the card in his hand. So Liliana being a really good card does not quite matter because he...
Is missing the double black to play.
Yeah.
I thought Lily was only one black, but again, don't play this format. That is
It
an
is
ancient too. What is
on
it
top
Alex's
Radiant
deck?
Fountain. So
Radiant Fountain.
good against the aggro matchups. Not going to do much here.
I don't with the glare on the screen. I thought it was a Corvold at first. I'm like, what the heck does he
Some
have that in his
spice.
deck? I was like, what
Oh,
is
we got
this?
a Teleria West instantly getting milled. Just a great way to tutor for any of his 0 drops in the deck, which there is a ton. Can get lands such as Blast Zone and
Lands also finds packs.
exactly
Summers
engineered
and-
explosives.
Yeah, it's very,
Walking Ballista.
very great. Oh, man.
Got another
Ooh.
surgical
So I would
extraction on top.
almost
Pretty good
certainly
for Patrick.
see Patrick snapping the surgical off on Field of the Dead.
I don't know about Field of the Dead. Again, that card probably is only one of, and also is in the graveyard already, and again, just needs to find a way to
Does he have ways to
protect
recur it,
his
though?
ensnaring bridge. What was that?
Well, what else would you surgical here?
I don't quite remember what's in the graveyard, but I'm sure there's other things that
Fatal
like
Push
Walking Ballista would probably be a worse threat, just in case there is a second one in the deck.
Yeah.
I imagine there only being one of those in there as well. However,
I could easily see playing a second Ballista. The card is so good. Another Lantern from Patrick. Doesn't get the surgical anyways.
Oh. Yeah.
Shuffle the surgical away. Interesting.
probably wasn't necessary. Looks like Patrick is just trying to grind through these decks here. Kill his opponent is the best way to... Oh, it looks like
Oh.
EE on
the
one.
E has been blown up on one.
Yep.
Patrick has lost his lanterns.
However, Alex also stopped half of his board as well. Yeah, so it looks like Patrick was just activating all of his things because he might as well with EE being activated. Get the use out of them before they all get destroyed. However, with Emery and it basically being able to take a turn because of the blast zone, he's going to be able to pick up Pithing Needle again. Okay.
Alex bumped the blast on up to 3 now, so he's going to be
Okay.
able to get rid of that ensnaring bridge. Timing on what he does, that is really important. Emery able to recast artifacts from the graveyard. It's very powerful in Patrick's deck, so he's going to be able to choose to get Pithing Needle back in a blast zone, potentially, but then Alex could just blow it up in response, so he's...
And unfortunately, with Patrick
Oh,
having to
Emery's
dump
a
his
3-drop. I thought it was
It is,
a 2. Oh, dang.
unfortunately with Patrick having to dump out his hand for the ensnaring bridge, he doesn't get to hold back all of those cards that he wanted earlier. He does have some free draws with Mishra's Bauble, however, which is fairly good. He's turning off colored mana from his opponent with Dampening Sphere, which is decent. However, he does have other colored sources. Patrick had the Drown in the Lock to take care of the Zusa. Not much of a threat, but at the same time...
I mean, Patrick is at a very low health total. Any creature right now from Alex is going to be a threat.
Exactly.
Alex is popping both of those baubles, looking to dig.
Patrick drawing Inquisition, and it looks like 2 Kodak Shredders. Yep. Patrick almost assuredly just going to start blind milling his opponent just to get this game over with. Can't be that many cards left in the deck. Oh, looks like Patrick couldn't cast all 3 cards in his hand because Dampening Sphere is not a one-sided effect.
Oh, that is a great mill from Patrick.
Yeah, Field of the Dead looking very live now with Ensnaring Bridge off the field.
Is that another... I think another EE here from Alex.
Yeah, Alex fortunately was able to keep cards in his hand. So still has some gas here.
Yeah, the game is almost certainly going
Summoner's
to be over
Pact,
here
however,
pretty
probably
soon.
doesn't have many, if any, targets. Not quite worth. Looks like EE's on 2.
Yep.
Looking to get rid of that dampening sphere, I guess. Maybe other potential targets.
I almost would have snapped off E on 3, in case Patrick is able to find another ensnaring bridge or tangled wires.
I kind of agree with that as well. I don't know if he can, though, with dampening sphere. He might not have the colored mana. Yeah, it looks like Alex doesn't have the colored mana to do it on more than one with dampening sphere. Alex looks like he's taking a look in his deck with Summoner's Pact. Grabbing a Sakura Tribe Scout. It's not nothing when Patrick's at 5.
If you can tap
However,
for colored mana, how is he paying for the...
he has Forest in his... He's got Garenbrig and Forest. Dampening Sphere doesn't affect those because they're not making more than 1 mana.
Gotcha.
Patrick pretty much just needs another artifact in play so he can start gaining some life off of this Inventor's Fair.
Patrick is at 5 out of 2
I guess
health.
with the Slayer Stronghold.
Oh,
No,
just
but he
2
can't
health.
activate Slayer Stronghold, can he? Oh, it looks like EE did get cracked with Dampening Sphere. So, this is going to be a really close game. Alex might have this one.
I mean, almost certainly. Like, Patrick's really gonna need to just rip pretty much the perfect card here.
Patrick needs a Fatal Push to be able to get through this Sakura Tribe Scout.
I believe he actually has one in hand.
Does he?
But there's the
but now there's
Azusa.
2 threats. Let's see. It's looking a lot like game for Patrick. Oh, is it Inquisition in hand for Patrick?
Yeah,
Those
scoops
aren't
it up
gonna
from
do it.
Patrick. So long game 1, Alex able to take it despite not having any Titans in his deck.
Up to sideboards. Let's see.
Force of Vigor definitely looking very strong in this matchup.
Force of Vigor. Which one's that one? Oh, yeah. Definitely. So yeah, let's do Patrick's sideboard first. Looks like Engineer Explosives, probably a good one. Got a lot of 1-drops on the opposing side that
I
you
could
want to get rid
also
of.
see Alex bringing the trackers in, basically just trying to speed up the clock. And if
Also, Clues is a good way to get past Lantern.
yeah, clues are a really good way to get past lanterns. I think it's also like just having another threat in your deck when you after seeing the surgical extractions from Patrick is very important.
Let's see. That being a 1-land hand for Patrick for a while was a pretty solid game.
What does Collective
Honestly.
Brutality do?
Collective Brutality has 3 different modes. Escalate, so you discard cards to activate the other modes. And you get to duress your opponent, drain them for 2, and -2/-2 to a creature. So, could be relevant. Duressing your opponent gets rid of some of the packs and ancient stirrings. And
You see
there
Patrick
is-
bringing the second dampening sphere here?
possibly,
Just to turn
or
off
almost
his
definitely,
lands?
because it turns
Yeah.
off all the crew lands. Let's see. So, yeah, Pithing Needle
What
for
is a
sure.
Wishbane Orb?
Wishbane Orb gives you hexproof and destroys curses.
Yeah, that's pretty sweet.
Pretty much against like burn matchups and stuff like that. Let's see. Potentially Unmoored Ego to get rid of explosives and stuff like that.
Oh,
could
Alex
be a very
also
good
has a
card.
Rex Sage. Almost certainly bringing that in to get rid of Ensnaring Bridge. Bog also very good against Patrick here with playing Emery's.
No.
Post side definitely I feel like looks a lot stronger here for the Titan deck than Lantern Control.
Yeah, let's see. Yeah, definitely. Probably a couple of cards for each player to bring in. Welding jars are going to be good for Patrick. Being able to regenerate things. being a different mana cost, so plays around Blast Zone and Engineered Explosives a little bit.
Yeah. Welding jars have to be coming in for Patrick.
Looks like we're getting confirmation that Witchbane Orb coming in clutch has destroyed a curse once or twice before. So
Curious what garbage Patrick was playing as. Curse of the Pierced Heart.
that being a 2-mana enchantment, dealing damage, I believe, at the beginning of that player's upkeep. Definitely a good one to get rid of when your deck's trying to play the long game. But I highly doubt that's going to be relevant in this game. Nor the Hexproof either. I don't think there's many cards that Alex could be playing. I guess Walking Ballista could be relevant against Walking Ballista. For sure.
I don't
But
think
I don't think it's worth it. It's
Yeah.
a card that will probably more likely get stuck in your hand when you have Ensnaring Bridge, especially without Opals, to be able to cheat everything out so quick like it used to be.
What do you think about the negates here from Alex? Could you see
Almost
those coming
definitely.
in?
Just, you want the max amount of relevant cards. So I imagine the Gates being pretty good just because it's a card that...
It hits practically everything in Patrick's deck, but I don't know if it's good enough here.
I don't know. It
It
just...
stops words.
I see any card that can kind of disrupt Patrick's game plan being something that should be in Alex's deck.
Right.
But he definitely doesn't want to dilute from his main game plan as well.
I feel like the
So
matchup already is pretty lean towards Alex here.
it could be.
Post side at least, even without the negates. Like
Yeah.
having a Rex Sage, an extra EE. There's plenty of ways for Alex to just board clear Patrick almost for free.
Yeah. But we'll see. Alex's deck is meant for him to be able to get rid of those cards. So we'll see. You can definitely get to a point where Alex is only drawing irrelevant spells. Also, without having fetch lands in Alex's deck is a little bit of a downside at this point. Not being able to change the top card of your deck at will in that fashion is a little unfortunate, but obviously, as we saw in Game 1, didn't matter.
Yeah.
So it looks like we got our opening hands here.
Alex taking a mold to 6 here.
Yeah.
I believe Patrick is keeping his hand.
Yeah.
Patrick making some mysterious hand motions here. I wonder if he is trying to summon some kind of demon. Shuffling his cards nervously. He is shaking, shivering in fear of his opponent, Alex Moores.
Patrick missing the good old days with the Vancouver Mulligan, having his opponents scry the card on top, not knowing what they're playing against, and him being able to screw around with the scry, being able to mill it with Codex Shredder or Ghoul Caller's Bell.
Patrick already on the fast track to just dumping his hand for this Ensnaring Bridge. Definitely it looks like a great start from him.
Welding Jar being a very great card in Patrick's deck, just helping him make sure he gets to keep his game plan going. Pithing Needle on Secure Tribe Scout yet
Once
again.
Yeah.
Patrick being on the play is going to be pretty helpful this game.
He's gonna need to
Keeping
find
another
lands for that
one-lander.
Bridge, yeah.
Yeah.
He does have a Lantern and a Codex Shredder in hand, though. He's just going to go to 19 here. Picks up the bobble. There's the second land.
Yeah, unfortunately you can't get it this turn, but gonna get rid of the Ancient Stirrings. It's just a wild card in his opponent's hand, and Field of Ruin being in play is
You see, Alex.
He might have to sack the
spinning his hand
Lantern
around violently.
but not having many ways to deal with that other than just having Ensnaring Bridge.
Oh yeah, Alex stabbing hard. Basically feels like the game is unlosable at this point, probably because it is. Field of the Dead is such a powerhouse. Surprised to see it's still legal in Modern, quite frankly.
Yeah, at least Modern has a bunch of like land removal, which is a pretty key thing.
There's the tracker we speculated on.
Yep, looks like they did get brought in.
Gonna be able to start applying pressure real quick. Patrick is still 2 lands away from being able to cast that Ensnaring Bridge in his hand.
Picks up another Ensnaring Bridge. However, I do think he's grabbing the lands to be able to cast it.
Yeah, Tracker's just going to be really good here for Alex. Being able to just crack those, crack the clues when he wants to keep the card that he has on top. It's going to be really nice. And Summer's Pact here, really fantastic.
Triple Lanterns, not that great. They come in niche situations where you gotta get rid of the top card of your opponent's deck. However, having multiples doesn't really help.
It's definitely a very rough game here for Patrick.
Yeah, Tireless Tracker is gonna put an immense amount of pressure in play, especially
With this Azusa here, he's going to get so many clues.
No.
You just feel...
However, Pithing Needle can name clue. Maybe Patrick can do that.
Potentially. That also sounds like a punt, frankly.
Yeah, that is a little unfortunate to stop half of a card. But
there's definitely, I think, better things, even if you're not saying them. Cannot even name clue. It is a token, not a card.
Oh, that's fair. That is unfortunate. These clues are probably going to run away with the game. Can't imagine Patrick being able to play through the clues, especially because Alex is just going to have so much mana to be able to activate.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's going to be able to get this field online here in a turn or two and just start overwhelming Patrick. Patrick really needs to rip a land here so he can get this Ensnaring Bridge online. Other than that, Alex almost certainly has the game in the bag.
Regardless, it's going to be really rough for Patrick. Even if he was to find a way to win this game, he would have to win the next game in probably 5 minutes or so, which is pretty much impossible.
Oh yeah, time is also a big thing when you're playing Lantern Control. Even if Patrick was able to take this game, there's almost no way the match would end in anything but a draw. However, it might just be possible. Alex is known as Alex Second Plays Morris for a reason, so he's bound to drop a match here at some point. There's a land on top for Patrick. Probably just wants to keep it there so he can actually play the cards in his hand.
With double bridge out for sure.
Yeah, if you hear us yawning, it's just because Lantern Control is a pretty stale game to watch.
Yeah.
Hey, there's another field. That is unfortunately not too great when you already have one and not the 7 lands, but definitely not a bad draw here. Alex struggling to figure out that turning his creature sideways is something he can do this turn. Looks like he's just going to play this forest. Will he get there? There's a tap
wondering if he's missing his clue.
hand.
Okay, it looks like
He's getting his clue triggers. Really just want to see Alex draw some cards and smack the crap
If
out
this
of
Titan
Patrick.
resolves, it's
Yeah,
pretty much
oh, yeah.
game over.
This is definitely game here. Alex just gonna be able to find the lands.
Was
one,
able
two,
to
three,
pick up
four.
Blast Zone and
Oh yeah, he finds 2 lands. He's gonna get 4 zombies and
he can get a bounce land to pick up the Teleria West and get a Blast Zone as well. And very useful utility lands from the Amulet Titan deck. Basically tutoring for 2 spells.
Patrick notoriously is probably gonna have to wait here and read every single card as though he doesn't know he's dead, just to draw the game out a little bit longer. But this is almost certainly game over here for Patrick. Alex again really taking his time to figure out that just grabbing anything with different names pretty much is just gonna be seal the match here.
So it looks like just
Cinder
that. No, it's
that's
the
not
red
Cinder.
green bounce land. So it looks like he's gonna do exactly that. Probably pick up the Teleria West.
Yeah, there's
Has
the
the
zombies.
blast zone
Best
on one.
zombie art, notably. Very sweet zombie art here from Alex. Not only is he crushing Patrick literally, but also in style. Oh, actually, I lied. Subs out for a worse zombie art. Hard punt from Alex. This could be the match for Patrick. I don't know if Alex can come back from that severe misplay here. Axon, if you could tell Alex to get better zombie tokens, I'd really appreciate
Looks like
that.
we're picking up the Ghost Quarter. And looks like he wants to play it out and be able to keep it open. It's very reasonable. Lets him manipulate the top card of his deck if he so chooses, and also probably
This is getting more frustrated as we continue to see these garbage zombies on the board. There's so many beautiful arts for the zombie tokens, and yet he just has the worst one. Questionable plays here from Alex, that's for sure. He was finally able to figure out that turning his creature sideways did some cool stuff. Patrick's going to take some damage here. Going to Ghost Quarter a land. Patrick, for some reason, not conceding the game. Don't understand why, but, you know, I'd say there's hope, but I don't really feel like that'd be an honest statement here for Patrick.
Patrick pulling out the beautiful new lands from
Thank
Theros
you.
Beyond
Thank
Death.
you, Alex. Oh my gosh. All right, Alex, unbeatable at this point. They were able to figure out the right line. got the good zombies on board. There's an Inquisition for Patrick. Does actually nothing here. I don't even think he can cast it. Does he have a Black Source? I don't know what that other land
Spires
is.
of Industry can make black mana.
Alright. He just mills it away. There's a Drown in the Lock. Also pretty useless here. He's going to shuffle away. Really looking for an answer. Patrick pretty much just needs to draw a land here so he can slam down an Ensnaring Bridge. Otherwise, he's just dead.
Axon, can we get a close-up on Lantern of Insight again?
Why? What's your question? I can answer it. I play Modern.
I just want to see if it's target player shuffles or if it's each player shuffles.
Lamau, oh, just 2 health. Oh, huh. Caroline in the stream. What's up?
Target player shuffles. Okay.
Target. All right.
Gotcha.
Ooh, he found a cool swamp. He's going to be able to snap the Ensnaring Bridge off. Living in the meantime.
Snaring Bridge being a good one. Blast Zone not quite able to answer it just yet. Having the Welding Jar out there to protect the Ensnaring Bridge is really good. Not quite sure. Saving
If he's able to find a stronghold, he can just attack with his Tribe Scout and pump it.
Does artifacts being tapped stop their ability? I don't remember if that's an old rule or...
There are a couple old artifacts like Winter Orb, in which the
That
card
specifically say it?
specifies if
Okay.
they are tapped. Yeah.
I thought that was a general rule for
quite
Most
some
artifacts.
time, possibly, maybe.
I was
I
gonna
don't know.
say regenerating an artifact might still turn off Ensnaring Bridge because I do believe it taps it. But if that's not how that works,
it
then
needs to be specified on the card. There's actually situations where any permanent can be tapped in this game. Having tapped Planeswalkers off Sarkon is definitely something that just feels weird, but this is definitely fun. Man, I really hope Patrick would just die already, because I really need to use the restroom. But
we got things.
oh, thank you so much for the follows. Neko Muleta, this Mary and Caroline. Thank you so much, guys. Really appreciate the follows. Rex Sage here from Alex. Blowing up the Ensnaring Bridge is that game.
At least trying. Looks like there's a welding jar.
I think us.
Or did this happen after?
Wait, is he? He's got to be regenerating it, right?
If he, I don't know. Did he already use it?
I don't know, but he has a blast zone too, so I'm pretty sure Patrick's just dead. And
Attacking for 2.
why is?
It looks like the Ensnaring Bridge did stay because of the welding jar. Holding out the game just a little bit longer.
Alright.
Blast Zone, he's going to need to be able to answer it.
I guess he wants to get Patrick to 6
Having
first,
the
or
double
at least grab the
Ensnaring
stronghold.
Bridge isn't going to be relevant here just because Blast Zone will be able to get rid of both of them, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's pretty unfortunate game state here for Patrick. He's gonna mill away the Lily.
Again, anything that
There's a
doesn't deal
bobble.
with Blast Zone is...
Dropping that. There's a land. Really just not what Patrick's looking for here. He's in quite the pickle. I thought he had a chance, and then Alex upgraded his zombies, so... Showing Alex the second Ensnaring Bridge. I think Patrick might just be scooping the game up here.
Yeah, it looks like Alex is going to his turn, or is he putting counters on?
Yeah, Patrick playing it out like a good sport. Gotta amend the guy. Fortunately, us being in a different room, I don't have to listen to him talking about combos, which is always a plus.
It looks like we're picking it all up here.
That's going to be the match here. Alex taking a very long 2-0. Lantern Control, one of those decks that really just doesn't do a whole lot, but drags the game out for quite a while.
Yeah, Amulet being one of those decks that... Or not Amulet, Lantern Control being one of those decks that's not really fun to play against because you don't really feel like you're winning even when you are.
Yeah, you sit back and do a whole lot of nothing.
Yeah.
Great sportsmanship from these two. That's going to be the match. Alex was able to take it in a 2-0. Going to hit you back with a time machine. Maybe even just some music. This round is practically over, and we will be back shortly.
Been relying on my bruises, defined my edges against skies of gray, but now my worries are all far away. The sky is clear and I begin to fade. Once I believed in paradise, a place where I would never feel no pain, a state of mind I never have to change. But now it all looks alright, and I begin to fade. Trouble I don't know what I am, but I ain't nothing without these blues. I've heard a million happy endings. I've seen the good guys win, I've seen the bad guys pay, but now I never read that final page. 'Cause in that sunset ride, yeah, I begin to fade. Trouble, I need you. I don't know what I am, but I ain't nothing without these blues. Somewhere there's heaven for the hopeless, a place where we can all still wax and wane, a place where cloudy skies can still bring rain. So in my shaking faith, I clasp my hands and pray. I pray for trouble.
Is that Suicune?
All right, welcome back. We got Alex Morris running it back against Steven. So we're going to have Titan here versus Jund.
Alright.
Alex is just going to snap off this Once Upon a Time in response to the Thoughtseize. Grabbing a Garen Brig.
Alright, let's see what Alex has got in his hand here.
A lot of lands.
Yeah.
I always just think you take the O3 here, right?
Definitely could be the play. Yep. Just slows down his opponent a little bit more. Ancient Stirrings kind of just could be anything. If Steven's got another Thoughtseize, he can always just Thoughtseize that away. Not sure what else Steven's got in his hand though. But yeah, taking the O3 is definitely a solid play. Slowing down his opponent a little
Dumb
bit.
Monkey lets him ramp, so.
Yeah. Almost like bolting the bird, but in this case, seizing the monkey.
Who needs to spank the monkey when you can Thoughtseize it? You know what I'm saying?
Let's see. Alex just playing his tapped land, passing. Steven putting some pressure on the board. Really necessary.
What card is it?
Which one?
That one.
Termagoyf.
Oh, I can't.
Yeah, so
Could
we got
not
a
recognize
Termagoyf.
the Goyf from this angle.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Termagoyf, great card at putting pressure on the battlefield. Easily ends up being or it looks like it's already a 3/4 for sure. Yeah. Once he can do that, he can start interacting with his opponent and ending the game as well.
Alex just snapping off the stirrings here. Oh, Steven. Stirring the pot. Wonder what he's cooking.
Another land for Alex. Getting a bounce land. Let's see. Getting out the amulet is pretty good for Alex. Looks like he had a pretty decent top deck.
Thank you so much to Basket Case. I don't know who you are, but you definitely have the most right opinions in America.
Fortunately for Steven, he has plenty of ways to deal with onboard cards, even as hard as artifacts, with Abrupt Decay, Assassin's Trophies.
Yeah, getting this Liliana online is definitely really good for Steven. Unfortunately, in this match, does not have the Red and 6 out yet. Probably just going to be dumping land. Oh, that is not... Oh, Scavenging Ooze from Steven. Not super relevant in this matchup, but still a good card.
Exactly. Not really much going on with the graveyard from his
Steven
opponent.
has a Bolt and one other card in hand.
Let's see.
Yeah, having Amulet out from Alex is potentially just going to ramp him into a victory here. Steven back to stirring the pot, hopefully making something nice and spicy. They are in a different room. So we are in, we have like a little casting room and they're in a back room. Axon, if you can move the typing away from the chat so we could communicate with people, that'd be fantastic.
Agreed.
Da, da, da.
Sweet.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. So it looks like a Field of the Dead. That's definitely a great card. Against a deck like Jund, creating zombies just by making your land drops, kind of helps nullify their removal a little bit. It can buy you a lot of time against Jund's creatures.
That's the Cascade Elf here from Steven.
Yeah,
Ooh.
what great elf.
Hard whiff. That's
Oh,
pretty
he gets to
unfortunate.
keep going, right? Or what? Yeah, he hasn't hit anything yet. Yeah. So, bunch of lands. Thankfully, to get those off the top of Steven's deck.
And a Lily. All right.
Liliana that he's already got. Not sure if he's
That's
going to
a-
play it. Yeah, looks like he's not. Probably a pretty good choice.
Pretty unfortunate. Definitely far from the start Steven had in his earlier match. He's got a big Goyf and a 3-2. Alex doesn't really have anything on his board right now, but is not far off from getting there.
Let's see. Planeswalker in the yard, though, means Goyf is going to be a 4/5. It's pretty good. So far, still a 3-turn clock. With the Bolt, however,
It's a 5 on
see.
that dice. Is it a
That's
5/6? Yeah,
7.
Goyf is a 5/6 right now.
Bolt going to the yard. Bolt going to the yard, however, ups the Tarmogoyf as well. So Tarmogoyf, I believe, is a 5/6.
Yeah.
So
Oh, Alex
looks like
just
Alex
scooping it
picking up
up.
his cards. Not quite a quick enough hand for Alex, and a lot of
Kind
pressure
of
on the board from
Surprising,
Steven.
honestly. Was Lily about to ult or something? Like,
No, I just think
Yeah.
he wasn't able to deal with the board, and there's a lot of stuff on there.
I feel like Alex probably could have top decked his way out of that if he got lucky.
Yeah, Jun's sideboard, we're probably going to want Dampening Sphere for sure. Let's see. Fulminator Mage is going to be a fantastic card. Graveyard removal is not super necessary. Collective Brutality might make it in if he has some a bunch of cards he doesn't want in there. Again, being able to take both a creature off the field and being able to duress your opponent is not bad against the Amulet Titan deck. Otherwise, I can't imagine anything. Oh, Liliana, probably a good one. Being able to plus onto the Tribe Scouts and just being a really great card.
I don't feel like there's
Not
anything super relevant here from Alex. I can see him definitely bringing the Bog, possibly the Trackers, just to
Grind
start
through
beating down
some of
those
the-
early game Planeswalkers.
Yeah, that's not a bad one. Obstinate Baloth probably against discard, but maybe not. Just might not be good enough. Let's see. Not many artifacts he needs to get through. Engineered Explosives, another way to get through Planeswalkers, probably be one he will take in. Possibly negates, but maybe not against discard.
Alex, not typically accompanied by belly dancers, but I don't think that's something he'd necessarily be opposed to. What? Alex, you know, maybe if he wasn't feeling sick today, but, you know, whatever. If you can't just... This is a PG stream, alright? We gotta steer this conversation away. Let's talk about Alex's amazing Stitch hat here. Now, what are your thoughts on this, David? Are you more of a Lilo or Stitch?
Lilo and Stitch. Oh, definitely Stitch by far. Blue is
Yeah.
my favorite color. Stitch is a wild guy. Definitely going with Stitch. How about you, Saban?
You know, Stitch is great. I think the combination of Lilo and Stitch is really important, though. Lilo really getting in with teaching us some important morals and values in those movies.
Oh, yeah.
I don't remember the word, but what's the word where it's like something is family? You know what I'm talking about?
Oh.
Maybe we can get some help from our chat. Ohana, there we go.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Ohana means family, David, you know? Aside from Stitch, now here's the real thought. How do you feel about cold versus warm pizza? Obviously not fresh pizza, because fresh pizza is going to take the cake every time. But if day-old pizza, are you heating up or are you just slamming it down your gullet?
Definitely just slamming it down. Don't need a microwave that. Pizza's just as good cold as it is hot.
Recently...
fresh pizza, obviously.
Oh, yeah, fresh pizza takes the cake. Recently had some blue cheese sauce pizza from Pizza Time. I am a fiend for blue cheese, and I gotta tell you, dude, that stuff is delicious.
That sounds pretty
Fulminator
good.
Mage.
Looks like we're doing mulligans right now.
Oh yeah, Fulminator Mage, obvious bring-in here from Steven.
Oh, yeah,
I don't even know why we
sure.
didn't even talk about that. Fulminator Mage is
Both
very,
deals with
very
utility
good against-
lands, also messes with bounce lands, also just really good against bounce lands.
Yeah, slows down the Titan player quite a bit, and
Makes packs a little bit scary too.
Yeah, worst case scenario.
Don't want to pact into
yeah.
getting your lands destroyed and just losing the game. Definitely seen
Yeah.
that happen once or twice.
Definitely fantastic card to bring in from Steven.
Alex on the play here, leading with, I believe, just a land for now. It doesn't need to snap off the Once Upon a Time quite yet. Inquisition, as usual, from the Jund player. Alex now deciding to snap off the Once Upon a Time, maybe trying to play around the Inquisition. Feel
Just
that,
grabbing the field
again,
here.
being a really great card in this matchup.
Hopefully Alex is able to get it online.
Tireless Tracker, as you said, Sabian, being
Yeah,
brought in.
Tracker is the only valid target here. Unfortunately, Alex loses it. It's kind of a bummer.
What is that? Is that a mulligan down to 5 or 6 from
I
Alex?
think it was a 1, 2, 3. I think it was a mold out of 6. Okay. Yeah, it was a mold of 6 by Alex.
Oh,
Mold
mold
of
to
5. We're
Fine.
both bad at math. He's on. Never mind. Mold of 5. All right.
Yeah.
We have more important things to talk about, like cold pizza and Ohana. All right. We're doing our best here. Bringing in a Blood Crypt off his fetch land from Steven. Something more exciting than these players shuffling their decks. The 4th season of Haikyuu just recently came out. If you're unfamiliar, it's an awesome anime about volleyball, and I've been waiting for this new season for like actually 3 years now. Second episode came out on Saturday. Really good. Steven just slamming the Lily here. Gonna get on that discard train. Really, really sucks for Alex. Going on a mold of 5, his hand is already low. Yeah, this is really unfortunate. Alex just having a grip of lands here. So, he's not going to be able to really do anything this game, it looks like. This is a really sad place for Alex to be in. Game's not quite over yet, but it's definitely looking grim.
Yeah, Steven with a full grip. All really great cards. See Dark Confidant there with Alex not really having much removal to deal with it. Just a great stream of card draw. Looks like he's got the 4th land for Bloodbraid. I think I see at least
Just looking
one
at what to
Bloodbraid.
discard.
Oh, looks like Bloodbraid's going away for Alex. Deciding, or for Steven.
Oh, Alex
then-
just dumping the Ballista here.
Yeah.
Ooh, Alex just getting a slam a Titan here might actually just pull him back into this game. Definitely just ripping it off the top like a champion. Also, yes, there is a new season. You can find it on Crunchyroll. We are not sponsored, although I wish we were. That'd be sweet. It is called Haikyuu To the Top. We're already starting off with some training camps. You know, we're getting stirred up for the spring championship of volleyball. And I don't think there's anyone I know more excited about it than me, if I'm being real honest with you. Like, almost cried.
Looks like potentially Alex maybe made a mistake. Didn't have quite enough mana. I'm not sure what's going on right now.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Looks like he put the Titan back in his
Oh,
hand.
he doesn't have the forest. So the Garenbrig is coming in tapped. That is
So,
really
easy
unfortunate.
fix here. Just putting the Titan back. Decks were already random. Just shuffling everything.
Ooh, and now he's has to discard the Titan.
That is really unfortunate.
This game went from looking like a sweet comeback to looking like a pile of depression here for Alex Morris. Oh, both Titans are gone. It's really gonna take a miracle for the
Look.
sexy hands to make a comeback here. Oh, there's the forest. Can Alex just rip it off the top like the champion he is? It's going to be the question. Let's see what's Steven doing here. Ooh, the Ashiok.
Oh, that's
Def
taking down a lot of his routes to get Titans here.
Yeah, Ashiok notably stops your opponent from searching their libraries, so even if Alex was able to find the Titan, it's just a 6/6 at that point, which is easily answerable by Steven. It's a clean 2-0 from Steven. It's going to take the game. Gonna cut here to some Hot Damn Scandal, which is a fantastic local band. Our friend of the store, Pete Irving, notably, and Chris are both in the band. We will be back with you guys when the next round comes around. Thank you so much for tuning in.